One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, 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 oh.
Bobby Seale was born on October 22nd, 1936 in Dallas, Texas, where he and his family lived in poverty. Seale and his family moved to Oakland, California when he was 8 years old. He attended high school until dropping out in 1955 to join the U.S. Air Force. 3 years after enlisting, he was discharged for bad conduct because he got into a fight with his commanding officer. He went back to high school and eventually to college at Merritt in Oakland. At college, he would meet his friend Huey Newton. Huey Newton was born on February 17, 1942, in Monroe, Louisiana. When Newton was young, his family moved to Oakland, California. Newton's family stayed in Oakland, where he was able to graduate from high school in 1959, despite not being able to read, although he would eventually teach himself. In school, Newton and Seale worked together to develop the school's Black Studies curriculum and integrate African American history courses into the college curriculum. In 1966, the pair founded the Black Panther Party for self-defense and adopted the symbol of all-black political party from a county in Alabama. The group would later be renamed to the Black Panther Party. At its inception on October 15, 1966, the Black Panther Party's core practice was its armed citizens patrols to monitor the behavior of officers of the Oakland Police Department and to challenge police brutality in Oakland. Black Panther Party membership reached its peak in 1970, with offices in 68 cities and thousands of members. Popular support for the party declined further after reports appeared detailing the group's involvement in illegal activities such as drug dealing and extortion schemes directed against Oakland merchants. Black is Beautiful is a cultural movement that was started in the U.S. in the 1960s by African Americans and is still around today. It aims to dispel the racist notion that black people's natural features such as skin color, facial features, and hair are inherently ugly. The movement also encouraged black men and women to stop trying to eliminate African-identified traits by straightening their hair and attempting to bleach their skin, and rather to just be themselves confidently as they are.
The Nation of Islam was a huge African American movement focused on political and religious aspects. It was founded by Wallace D. Fard Muhammad in Detroit, Michigan on July 4, 1930. Its goals were to improve the lives of African Americans spiritually, mentally, socially, and economically in the United States. This African American movement that combined elements of Islam with black nationalism was largely influenced by Malcolm X. Malcolm X suffered a very rough childhood with the loss of his father and the admittance of his mother to an insane asylum. He floated around juvie and jail and was in lots of illegal activities, and while in prison for robbery, he underwent a conversion that eventually led him to join the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X founded the nation's newspaper, Muhammad Speaks, in which he expressed the frustrations of African Americans during the major phase of the civil rights movement. After deep tensions between Malcolm and the other leader, Elijah Muhammad, over the political direction of the Nation of Islam, along with bad publicity, he left the nation and after several other religious conversions had growing hostility towards the Nation of Islam, which eventually led to his assassination by 3 members of the Nation of Islam. The Black separatist movement is a belief that black people are unable to thrive in a white-dominated society due to racism, and therefore must create their own nation of sorts, separate from white people.
The Little Rock Nine were 9 students who attempted to desegregate a school in Little Rock, Arkansas, 3 years after the Brown v. Board of Education ruled segregated schools unconstitutional. On the first day of school, the governor of Arkansas called in the National Guard to keep the black students out of the school, which eventually forced President Eisenhower to send federal troops to escort the children into the school. The following year, all schools in Little Rock were closed to avoid forced integration.
Rosa Parks is most well known for refusing to surrender his seat to a white passenger on a segregated Montgomery, Alabama bus, which spurred on a 381-day Montgomery bus boycott that helped launch a nationwide effort to end segregation of public facilities. The city of Montgomery had no choice but to lift the law requiring segregation on public buses. Rosa Parks received many accolades during her lifetime, including NAACP's highest award. Martin Luther King was an important leader in the civil rights movement. The ideals from this organization he took from Christianity and its operational techniques from Gandhi. In the 11-year period between 1957 and 1968, King traveled from over 6 million miles and spoke over 2,500 times, appearing whenever there was injustice, protest, and action. He is most well known for having a major protest in traveling from Selma to Birmingham, as well as his I Have a Dream speech at the Washington Monument and the letters from Birmingham jail talking about his frustration with white moderates and repeating his undenying dream to see a better life for African Americans. His peaceful protesting got many legislation laws passed, so his specific organization motives have dissipated. But there are still movements such as Black Lives Matter movement and the NAACP that are determined to helping out lives of African Americans and stopping racial injustice.